As always on the Road Trip Angler, the weather does seem to follow us. So right after this huge, massive storm came through North Carolina here where I live, we had to decide to make a little bit of a trip and go a little further away from my house to find water that had been less affected by those storms. And so we went to an area that I really don't get to fish that often, but it still holds smallmouth bass.
James, you got too many eyes on your rod.
Quick tip for you there, if you fold your line up like this, as you're going up through the guides and you accidentally drop it, it won't go back through the guides.
I was really excited about getting my hands on the NRS approach. I've done the review of it and spent a little bit of time in it, but this is where this boat, to me, is gonna shine the best. What's up everybody, Jameson Redding here with the Road Trip Angler, and I'm excited because we are fishing in my home area, chasing one of my favorite fish, smallmouth bass. We're gonna hit the river with Stephen Cheek. I think it's gonna be a good day. And we're off. We're just making our way upriver. There's some shoals up here at the base of a dam that always seems to be productive when the water's the right level. The really cool thing about the raft is, number one, it floats super high and super shallow in the water, so it's gonna go over those shoals. It's gonna handle those riffles and that swifter current, some of that mild whitewater really, really well. Also, I can take plenty of gear for 2 anglers. I like the way this thing rigs out. I like these storage boxes and the track. To add these rod holders was nice.
It's a solid, solid boat. Very stable, very fishable.
Kind of cool actually being on a river that I know a little bit about in this thing. It's like the first time I've actually felt confident that we might see something wet and slimy in the boat. Stephen has come along on a couple of shoots and we've actually never caught fish on camera together. So I wanted Stephen to catch some fish so that we could prove that we actually do catch fish together. Then we just got to get up through them shoals. I like that all those rocks are exposed. That's a good sign.
It's really shallow in here.
Yeah, river fishing, especially in the shallow rivers when we're using the boat to get to the location and then getting out of the boat and wading around, can be a little hard. There's a little bit of risk that you're gonna slip and fall and even get hurt. The main goal is to just not give them anything to use in a blooper reel.
I just didn't really want to bust my tail on those rocks.
Get up to the dam and we're fishing, we actually split up without even really discussing the plan, which makes it hard to film.
I kind of ventured off away from everybody, didn't have a camera guy with me.
I wasn't seeing a whole lot going on. I wasn't really, what I would say, dialed into a pattern. It was thought, you know what, maybe a more subtle approach might be the ticket, especially in this calm water that we were in. And I thought maybe the fly would just be a little bit more subtle presentation. Fish on. First fish of the day, got it on a fly, which is pretty cool. Let's get her back in the water.
Hello.
What's up?
Oh, just catching a few fish finally.
I caught 2 smallmouth. The biggest one was about 18, and I just lost my swim bait to a friggin' gar.
Stephen has got a few but lost one of his lures, but he has caught a couple of smallmouth, so we're gonna go find him and bring him some new baits and steal his fish from him and try not to bust my head open. I feel like he owed me a little bit. I'm bringing this raft a pretty good ways by myself, zigzagging and having to maneuver around all these rocks to get to where he is at, and he needed to retie. So while he was doing that, I think it was perfectly acceptable that I made a few casts in that little hole that he had found. Where are you catching it?
Right there. That's the exact first cast I made and caught that 16. Sure enough, I get off camera, I'm all by myself, and I catch a solid smallmouth, and there was no proof of it. There he is.
Fish on.
I told you.
Little guy though.
Of course, Jameson's ripping me a little bit because I didn't have no camera, didn't have a picture of the fish. He says it didn't happen, but I know it did.
Everyone has a cell phone in their pocket, right? And he's able to call me and tell me about this fish.
Come here.
Why didn't he just take a picture of it?
I told you they were here the whole time.
Again, bait's as big as he is.
There he is.
There he is.
Found a few fish. They're stacked up in a little pond right here, and lost my bait. They finally get over here, tie on a new bait. Jameson stuck a few on the chatterbait. I decided I would throw one on too. Let's get him back in the water.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe. Stay safe out there, wear your life jacket, and as always, thanks for watching.